Hey guys, Andrew Houston here from Profit Contractors with trading tips in your truck. I want to give you guys some insights on how one of our rock stars, Alex, was able to take his business to the next level and actually do less and get even more. Okay, I mean, wouldn't that be awesome? So, happy Monday. Hope you guys are having a great Monday. Hope your day's kicked off well. I know for all contractors out there, Monday's a really important day, right? To make sure if you kick it off right. Hey, Alex, my man, is watching. Perfect. So, Alex, I'm going to be talking about you, brother. So, any comments are welcome. So, Alex, this is going to be some good insights for you, getting some reflection on how the coach saw you, all right, brother, and the progress that you made. And you might be surprised, Alex, with some of the stuff that I'm going to be sharing. So, everybody watching here, I want you guys to understand that there's not a problem out there that you guys can't solve, okay? The reality is that in a lot of cases, the way that we approach our business, the way that we try to solve the problems is absolutely key. And it starts off with this right here, what's in between our ears, which is our mindset, okay? You know, too many times we're telling ourselves stories, we're constantly convincing ourselves that things are a certain way. Morning, Alex. And in reality, we're fooling ourselves. So one of the biggest things that you have to get a handle on is your mindset, is how you look at these problems that you're having. If you don't have the right mindset for how you're facing your problems, you're never going to truly identify the obstacle that's holding you back. And straight up with you, it's never going to be one obstacle. It's never going to be one problem, okay? Too many times we talk about the symptoms. We talk about, oh man, I need more profits. Oh, my guys aren't working out. Oh, you know what? There's no good customers out there. Guys, those are just stories. Those are totally stories. They've got nothing to do. And if you continue telling yourself these stories, you're never going to solve the problem, okay? We've got to get ourselves in the right mindset. And with that right mindset, we can then start asking ourselves some really smart questions. And that's, Alex, that's what you started to do, okay? So one of the things, guys, we got to look at here, I call this above and below the line, okay? It's in a lot of books out there. I think there's Keith Cunningham, Jim Rohn, a lot of people out there, Michael Gerber, people like that have referenced this, but let's bring it to you, okay, to the forefront. Here we go. Above and below the line. So a lot of people play below this line, right? And in essence, they make their own bed. Now, what do I mean by that? They use blame. They use excuses. And the worst one is they use denial. Now, denial, right? Denial is not a river in Egypt, okay? At the bottom of this above and below the line mindset, this is the worst place to be. And I think, Alex, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of us play in this space, right? A lot of times we deny the fact that there's a certain situation happening. People will ask us, hey, how's it going? And what we'll say as a contractor, we'll say, yeah, it's going pretty good. Meanwhile, the reality is things aren't going that good at all. Until you can admit that there's problems, until you can admit that in some cases, in Alex's case, that you're not going to be able to solve these problems all by yourself, you're going to stay in a state of denial. And that's the worst place to stay, because if you never admit what the true problems are, starting with yourself, if you don't have the skill set to solve a certain problem that's going on in your business, you've got to get help, guys. Top athletes get coached, right? I mean, the best of the best tend to have even more than one coach. Now, I'm not saying, guys, you get help from me, but you got to get help. You got to get help from people that are doing it, that have done it, that are getting results. And that's one of the things that Alex did. He stepped it up beyond denial and saying, hey, man, everything's good. And he realized, hey, man, I've got some problems here. He stopped making excuses. He stopped saying, you know what, this is just the way the industry is, right? And he started saying, no, I want it different. There's other people out there. And guys, whoever's watching this, Henry, you're watching this? Alex, you're a testament, right? You're a testament that, you know, staying below this is not going to help anybody, right? You're a testament that eliminating excuses and saying like, hey, this is just the way the industry is was a bunch of bull, okay? And you move beyond that. You stop blaming other people. And you looked at yourself in the mirror, Alex. God love you, man. And this is what the champion CEOs do. They look in the mirror and they go, man, I'm not going to blame anybody else. You guys have heard the old analogy, right? You point at somebody, you point a finger at somebody. Look how many fingers are pointing back at you. I mean, think about that. One's pointing up to the sky. That's like your faith, right? Or the universe. And this one here is pointing at everybody else. When in reality, we got to look back at ourselves here, okay? And stop using blame. So if you stay below this line, guys, really, in all honesty, this here is a victim mentality. That's what this is. This is playing the game as a victim, okay? And we can't play that game. We got to play the game of the victor. Okay? That's the game that we got to play. So above this line, guys, it goes in this order. Just like denial is the lowest place to be, mindset-wise. If you're denying that there's problems in your business, if you're denying that, oh, hey man, everything's great, and I like, how many people do I talk to and they're like, yeah, everything's great, and within a couple of questions, you know, it's quite obvious everything's not great. You've got to face that you've got problems, guys. You got to face that you've got things in your business that you can improve. You got to face that you can't do it alone, and you got to face that that we can't keep making excuses. We can't keep blaming other people. We've got to step it up. And we have to be responsible, right? Right? Responsible. Okay, able. Response-able, guys. Response-able. That means we need to be able to respond to things properly, okay? So instead of running away from things, we got to run to these problems and we've got to face these things. One of the key things I'm going to show you guys before we finish it up is how to go about actually doing that. Like how to take this mindset approach and actually apply it. Okay, so stick with me here. Now, we have to be accountable. Okay, accountable, guys. And one of the things, Alex, that you did, which was incredible, was to be accountable, everybody. You've got to be looking at your numbers. You know, Alex is a prime example of somebody that didn't even look at his numbers. Correct me if I'm wrong, Alex. You didn't even look at your numbers, didn't even know how to look at your numbers. And then, you know, when you wanted to look at your numbers, you realize, like, hey, like, how do I go about doing this? Like, where do I start? And that's where you raised your hand and said, hey, I need to get somebody else that knows this stuff to teach me so that I can apply it to my business. And then, that's not enough. You have to apply it. Alex took his numbers, guys, and he realized very quickly that out of the crew that he had of 8 guys, that there was so many inefficiencies, that there was so many people in that group, okay, let's just say the group of 4 that are no longer there. There were certain people in there, not just, and this doesn't go a broad stroke, but there were some people that really were not working, right? They actually were not doing what they were supposed to be doing. We had other people that were so inefficient to the degree, Alex, is very true, running blind all the time. Absolutely. So once he started dialing in on his numbers, from his financials to tracking his crews, to breaking down how to go about quoting a job profitably, to how to go about, you know, how to make sure that the job is ran properly from start to finish, to how to make sure that he communicated on a regular basis to his team and built a structure that allowed him and his team as a team to be accountable and as individuals to be accountable was a complete game changer, okay? But it started off with Alex being response-able. He had to look at things and respond appropriately and start asking some very smart questions, right? Guys, here's the thing. Having the right answer is good. Having a smart question is genius, okay? And a lot of cases, business owners, especially people in the trades, they don't know what questions to be asking themselves. And because they don't know what questions to ask themselves, you never get the answer. I mean, if you look back at your business, even last week, last month, and it's like, it's like a Groundhog Day. It just keeps on, the same problems keep on popping up. The same issues with the team, the same issues with the customers, and they've been going on not just for weeks or months, in some cases years. Guys, it's not that the problems are not solvable. It's that you don't have the right questions, or you don't know of the right questions to be asking, and you don't have the right answers and the right systems and the right tools and the right know-how to solve the actual problem, guys. Okay? Next is, at the top of this, is ownership. Right? Own your ship. Right? That's huge. Alex, in your case, right? Not easy going on your own. Such a mental game. It is such a mental game, man. It just pulls you down day in, day out. I mean, you don't wake up in the morning going, man, I want to have the most disastrous day. Oh, man, all those problems I had last week, I want those things to repeat. Oh, man, I want to make less and less profit and have more and more cash flow issues. Who the hell wakes up doing that? Nobody does. We wake up going, I want this to be better. I want to improve my business, okay? And every day you have some form of that thinking, otherwise you'd probably pack it up by now, right? Okay? So the reality is that those problems that you have, Alex had those problems. Al, I'm not sure if you have those problems. I'm sure you do. Henry, I'm sure we all have problems with our time, with our team, with our profits, with our cash flow, with our marketing, with our sales. I mean, the list goes on, right? The reality, here's the thing. Alex, within a very short period of time, Alex, I think it was like less than 6 months, right, bro? Maybe you can just type it in. Less than 6 months, Alex was able to take 8 guys and go down to 4 guys, okay? Again, Alex would love just for you to validate this, okay? That he was able to go from a negative, I think, 11% net profit, guys. Listen to this, to a positive 25% profit. Imagine the difference, right? Imagine how much less effort he has to put in managing 4 guys. Now, I'm not saying that it's not great to have a contracting company that has, 10, 15, 20, 50, 100 guys or crews or employees. I'm not saying that's bad. But the point is, you've got to focus in on optimizing what you have right now. Okay, which brings me to one of the other key things. So from a mindset perspective, this is Alex, this is the journey that he was on. He got out of denial, stopped making excuses, he stopped blaming others, he became response-able, getting out of the victim mentality, going into the victor mindset. He was account-able, and he enabled himself, made himself able by knowing what numbers to look at, knowing what key metrics to look at. Like, guys, I say this all the time, I've repeated this so many times, you gotta know the dials in the cockpit. I mean, imagine a fighter jet, right? I don't know if you've ever seen a fighter jet. Imagine a fighter jet pilot getting in and he doesn't know how to read the dials. I mean, it's like overwhelming just looking at a picture of a fighter jet, right? The reason they have all those dials, everybody, is because it enables them to go at, breaking the sound barrier speeds and still be in control, right? Your business needs to have its own cockpit, okay? You need to be able to know and be able to know, first of all, what dials do you need? Alex, you freaking nailed it, right? Alex has all truth. Love it, baby! Okay? And Alex, you've become a different man, bro. I mean, I know your identity is the same. You're still as beautiful as a person as you were before. And your morals and your principles are the same, but Alex, you're a different man, dude. You're becoming a champion CEO. Instead of being the tradesperson, being the Gretzky, you have become a business owner, and that's the mindset, guys. That this is. This is the mindset, okay, of a champion CEO. Okay, so let's just look at this. Let's break it down. Number 1, guys, where are you playing below the line? Okay. And let's face it, if you keep blaming your team, if you've got a bad team, okay, if you've got a bad environment, I hate to tell you, you are the owner. You're the owner of the company. Your team isn't the owner, okay? The odds are that you've allowed that environment or you've created that environment, one of the two or both. And that's a core reason why your team is not performing. It's interesting to see that, Alex, for how many years, right? Whether it's a decade or what have you, was trying to think that more sales meant more profit. So let's get busier, let's get busier. Meanwhile, the reality is he was able to do, actually a little bit less sales and more than triple his profitability, okay? Now, Alex, right? Now, as we've talked to Alex, now that you've got things stabilized, now that we've got things tightened up, maybe there's a couple more things we've got tightened up. At that point, once you've got things optimized, guys, write this down. You got to optimize before you maximize. Too many times we try to maximize sales, we're trying to maximize growth, and we haven't even optimized what the hell we've got, right? And so in a lot of cases, we are going super, super fast, right? We're going super, super fast in the wrong direction, okay? And this is the thing, right? Get ready for this, okay? Hey, let's see. Alex's PFC has helped me with the account able part. Huge, man. Al says, need someone like this to get me rolling. Absolutely, okay? So here we go, guys. Champion CEOs do this, and this is what you did, Alex. They don't shoot, okay? They don't shoot at a target, okay, with thinking that they've solved a bunch of problems, when in reality they haven't. They don't go and aim with a gun, right? Hunting season's coming up, so pardon the pun. They don't sit there and shoot and then draw a bullseye around what it is, what holes they've shot in the paper. They don't do that, okay? That's what a lot of contractors are doing. That's in a lot of cases what you're doing is you're trying your best to solve these problems, but you're aimlessly, without having the right structure, having the right level of awareness to be able to ask the right questions. You're shooting blind, okay? And then we're trying to put bullseyes around going, oh man, we did something. And then we get this, adrenaline junkies kind of, oh man, I did something good today. When in reality, we're not really solving the core of the problems, okay? Champion CEOs do this. They identify clearly exactly where the target is. Yeah. Not just the bullseye. What's close, what's far away, and then with laser focus, they aim at the target. That's what they do. Okay? They don't do this. They identify the target, i.e., what it is, what the outcome is that they're trying to achieve. And they make sure they get the right level of awareness, and they break out how to get from point A to point B. They get way beyond just identifying, here's where I want to go, and they get absolutely crystal clear on what? You ready? What are the steps that are going to get them from point A to point B? What are the obstacles? What are the problems that they are going to crush? Because they know what the obstacles are, they know what the problems are, and they have a very detailed step by step action plan to get them there, okay? So guys, get the awareness you need, okay? Get your mind in the right place. And if you've been playing below this line, today's the day for you to get above this line. Stop being a victim. Stop using blame, excuses, and denial, and step it up because you've got it in you to become a victor, become responsible, response-able, become account-able, take ownership, okay? And become that owner, that champion CEO that you're meant to be. And Alex, you've just killed it, dude. You're a great example, along with hundreds of other of the top 5% of contractors out there that are part of the PFC family. So let me know what your thoughts are, guys. Alex says, using a rifle with a scope instead of a spray pattern of a shotgun. Absolutely. Alex says, focus. You got it, Alex. Love your comments here. Steve says, yep, I need your help. How do I get in touch? Love it, okay? Yuvela says, good morning. Oh, man. Steve and Yuvela, you guys have come a long ways in like 6 weeks. Yes, we've got a ways to go. And that's the other thing, right? Thinking that having the mindset that, oh man, I need things solved and I need a magic wand. I'm going to get the things done and everything's going to be good in like a week or two or a month is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous thought process, okay? I got to start wrapping this thing up. I got to get going, guys. But think about this. It took me 5 years to become an industrial controls licensed electrician. 5 years, okay? That's to become an electrician. And then when I came out, I realized I didn't know hardly anything, right? You guys are business owners, and you can become business owners, but again, it takes one step at a time, okay? Focusing in on the right structure for where you're at, and Yovela, you guys are on the pathway. Again, keep doing the habitual things that are getting you guys moving forward, Yovela. I love that you're participating here. Would love your comments as a fiance. And a woman in business, I'd love to hear your comments on this. How important is it that not just Alex, right, or not just Steve, but both of you, right, whoever the partners are in business, especially husbands and wives, need to get on the same page. I mean, it's absolutely critical. So love to hear your comments down below, guys. I'm going to wrap this baby up and get things rock and rolling on my end. Hope you guys have a great week. Remember, go into the week with a victor mindset, okay? And Jeff says, I'm still sitting on week 2. Hey, Jeff. Hey, dude. Week 2 is huge in the Profit Plan Accelerator. Absolutely huge, Jeff. Why? Because, Jeff, it is so key that you understand, number one, right? Week 1 was getting you to identify what your game plan is, right? What's the target you're going after, Jeff, my man? Week 2 is about identifying the value of your time, how to get control of your time so you can take those strategies from the PPA and actually have the time to execute on them. Right, bro? Okay? The Monday morning meeting is going to be killer for you, Jeff. And Jeff, if it's just you by yourself or if you got just 2 guys, I don't care. Whether it's just you or a whole team, you got to get focused on that Monday morning meeting. Get that nailed down, then get the Friday reflection meeting, and then continue on through the other 65 lessons, which are freaking killer, foundational to your business. All right, guys, if you want to get some more info, just comment down below. And that's about it. Would love to hear your feedback. Let me know how much this relates to you, and we'll see you guys on the flip side. Over and out. Have a great week. Ciao. Oh, Al says, how can I get set up with PFC? Al, will just comment team below. I'll get one of my team members to reach out to you and see if or how we can help you. Again, this is Andrew Houston from Profit for Contractors, helping contractors go from being a contractor to really becoming a business owner and a champion CEO. Okay, getting you guys to get your profits, to pay for your freedom, to get yourself from chaos to control, and to be able to get yourself to move in the direction that you want to move to live the lifestyle that you want. Ciao.